Okay, welcome back to Swans Cast, everyone. So I'm joined today by Lee once again and Nikki. So welcome back,
Oh,
boys.
Hello there.
Yeah, so we're just going to touch on a little bit of a discussion before the penultimate game of the normal season. Obviously, we're in the playoffs. We'll have a couple more, but Derby County at home. So last time we played Derby, do you remember the result?
yeah, they
Lost
beat us
it.
2-0, eh?
Yeah.
3-0 won it, I think.
Just
Was
3-0.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like one of Rooney's first games in charge? And
Yeah,
did not
it was
go
after the
good.
first game after the derby, wasn't it? There. And then, yeah, we were horrific then in midweek after we beat
Was it the
Cardiff.
first game after our derby? I think it's Cardiff. Was it? I can't remember.
So I think we beat Cardiff on the Saturday, and then
I think it was.
the
Yeah.
derby midweek.
That's classic, isn't it? So if you play on a high like that, and then you just drop levels.
Yeah. No, you were right. It was 2-0. My mistake. 16th of December, Derby 2, Swansea 0. Wasn't the greatest day. I think I was one at the time. If I remember rightly, we were saying watching now is the worst performance of the season. At the time, played with the normal tried and tested formation. We had more of the ball, surprisingly, 58%, but didn't do anything with it. We had 4 shots in the entire game, which kind of, I guess, is why we were saying it was such a shit show. But, yeah. So the things are a little bit different now, though. I think Derby, obviously, that was maybe a new manager bounce, who could argue. We're going into this game now. Kind of the season for us, it's just sort of playing for who you want in the playoffs at this point, isn't it? Do you think? But from what Cooper said, I feel like he's just happy to be in there. He's not that bothered. I don't know what you two think.
Yeah, I think you've got to just. It doesn't matter who you get, does it? To be fair, I know, like, you could say you'd rather have, I don't know, one rather than the other, but it doesn't matter, does it?
No. So yeah, he's saying he's saying he's going to rest players. I think he was going to be rested for both games. He's going to look at rotation options for likes of Whittaker and stuff to come in. But we'll talk a little bit more about the team at the end. Derby, on the other hand, are still fighting for something. So they're still fighting to stay in the league. So they have a 4-point gap to Rotherham, who are in the relegation zone. Rotherham have a game in hand on them, though. So a loss against us on Saturday would mean if Rotherham win their game in hand, there's only 1 point. So it's touch and go, and then if they beat us, they're kind of they're I would say they're safe, to be honest, if they win.
Aren't Sheffield United on the same points as Rotherham as well?
Sheffield United are on the same points as Rotherham, but they don't have the game in hand.
No, but they play Derby last game of the season in Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, but
Derby.
if Derby beat us, then it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it's over then.
It still matters against Rotherham, but I don't actually know when Rotherham's game in hand is. Is it midweek next week? Is it?
Yeah, it's midweek.
So they've got Blackburn and then Luton on the 4th. So yeah, at least it's interesting at one end of the championship table, I guess, because it's all wrapped up at the top, isn't it? It's weird for the championship. So what are we thinking ahead of this game then?
To be honest, what he was saying, we were talking about there about like who you like, just to backtrack a little bit there. When he was saying about who you want to play in the playoffs and things like that. Well, I know you're saying it doesn't really matter. We are in the playoffs, but kind of, if I was Cooper, I'd probably still have one eye on it because you've got teams and Bournemouth, like they're in great form now. You wouldn't want to meet Bournemouth over 2 legs, really.
Well, we're currently, as things stand, we will be playing Bournemouth.
You wouldn't want to meet them over 2 legs, personally. Barnsley, they're pretty good shape actually, aren't they? Brentford, they hit and miss at the minute.
There's history on that fixture as well now, though, isn't there?
Exactly. Yeah. So, to be fair, but if I was saying Bournemouth is the team we really want to avoid, really, isn't it?
Can I just say, like, as a betting person, out of the playoff teams, there's one sort of difference between one of the teams compared to the rest. The other 3 begin with the letter B. Maybe it's a sign.
Clutching a straw. Though.
Well, you gotta hope and you find anything.
I think like if anything, maybe you could aim to finish the top 2 of the playoffs to make sure your home leg is second. Could be something, but yeah, we'll smash them all.
Finishing 3rd could be difficult now because Brentford are 4 points ahead. They've got Watford and I'll check what their last game was against now. But obviously, we would need to win
City.
both games essentially. Bristol.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. You've got to play who's in front of you, really, haven't you? Like if you do end up playing Bournemouth, you've got to play them. If you've got to beat the best to be the best, haven't you? Sort of
You
thing.
might end up getting them in a final in there. So
like if it was me, to be fair, that's the team I wouldn't really want to play right now is Bournemouth because they are banging form. But anyway, you talk about the team about maybe resting players. Go back to that.
They are the only team that lost their last game as well, though.
Brentford, wasn't it?
Yeah, which Brentford's the other team in there.
It's going to be a touch and go this playoffs, isn't it? It's going to be tight games.
Maybe Bournemouth, they were in form, but maybe, if we're in luck, maybe, they did peak that little bit too soon. Like Barnsley, that mad run they went on. I know they're still in there and they deserve to still be in there, but they're not the same as when they won, 8, 9 games in a row. Maybe we had a bad point at the right time so that we can now get over that and
So I was hoping for, I was praying for that. Like we had a bad run and that we can, but it looks like he's got to play some of the fringe players now, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's leave the playoff talk a little bit because we will probably do something on that before that all kicks off. We'll try and organise something a little bit different for that and get something going. So any suggestions or anything you want to hear in regards to the playoffs, let us know. Okay, so let's talk about the team. What changes are we thinking? What do you think? Let's ask the question. Do you stick with the tried and tested? Do you stick with what you think's his first choice team is, go into the playoffs, try and get some form, and then, build some form and now go into that and try and keep winning? Or do you rest all the key players, give some of the fringe ones an opportunity so that they have that chance to maybe come off the bench and make a difference when it matters in the playoffs, get some confidence sort of thing, and go down that route to make sure no one gets injured?
I think he's got to use these 2 games now just to prepare for the playoffs. So I think got to decide now what he's going to do in the playoffs. So I know we'll talk about the playoffs another time, but in terms of, obviously there's a massive question with us now is what formation he actually goes with going forward. He's got to decide that within the next 2 games and have that consistently. Because they've got to try and put, I don't know, there's a fine balance because I think we've got to rest players. I don't want to see Ayew playing on Saturday at all.
I believe he's confirmed that he picked up a niggle on the injury that he had when he came on against Reading. So that I think Cooper said he's not going to risk him in the last 2 games now.
Yeah, there we are. So I wouldn't play him. I'd be tempted to not play someone like Matt Grimes as well. Just players we can't afford to lose at all. Grimes, maybe Bennett. I'd like to see them rested for the 2 games. And I'd like to see some players sort of put their hands up as well for playoff selection as well. So I don't know, looking at Whittaker and maybe come in and have 2 starts. So I'd like to see him rotate it a little bit. But again, you have got to try and get a bit of momentum to take into the playoffs.
Any other changes for you, Nicky?
I think you said there, we have to bang on the head there. It's a fine thing, isn't it? Because you don't want to be obviously risk players like Ayew and like these key players like Lowe and things like that, and get them injured. But then you sort of don't want them to lose a bit of match sharpness, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I don't know whether he's probably best off maybe in having people like Dander in the team and putting Routledge in the team, maybe all these people, so he can pick up a bit of form, a bit of match sharpness. So when it gets into, like you said, into the playoffs, they can come off the bench and make a bit of a difference. But maybe having Ayew and Lowe just coming on for the last 20 minutes just to keep that fitness, maybe that sharpness.
I think so.
And I know, it's a fine thing. And then if he brings them on for 20 minutes and they get injured, you think, well, why did you bring them on?
Yeah. Hard.
You know what I mean? Not playing 2 games at all, and then going straight into a massive game. You know what I mean?
I think some of those players are desperate for a rest as well. I think it's especially Ayew, because lucky his injury wasn't too bad, but I think that's sort of been threatening all season with the game time that he plays.
He came on and looked sharp as well, didn't he? Like he had a bit of a rest, and he came on and looked really sharp.
Yeah, so like Nicky said, I'd probably tempted to give him like 20 minutes in the last game of the season against Watford, maybe just like you said, to keep the match fitness up, because there is a bit of a gap as well, isn't there? Because it's over a week, so that we play the last game of the season on the 8th, and then the first playoff semi-final leg I think is the 17th.
Yeah, Sam.
You're looking at a 9-day turnaround there as well, so they will get time to rest in between the playoff games. So yeah, maybe start some of the fringe players and bring on some of the regulars for 20 minutes for match fitness. And also you've got to look at it like players like Dander, like that on the fringe, and maybe like Manning, they could be playing. Well, maybe not so much Manning, but Dander especially, like last chance. Like, tell me where you got. Should he be in the squad for next season? Because you've got like Byers coming back, and maybe they look to strengthen the midfield as well. So he's got a point to prove.
Yeah.
Last 2 games.
Yeah, I think definitely make some changes. I would say like with the midfield, maybe you can't change all of them, but you play maybe someone for the first half. Say it's Grimes, just to get a foothold in the game, and then Smith, like Felton maybe swaps with Grimes because they've been playing a lot. Smith probably can maybe do a full game because he hasn't had that many 90 minutes recently. Yeah, you chuck Dander in with them and rest Horahan. Maybe Ollie Cooper comes off the bench a little bit earlier. Cullen, I think, keep Cullen starting to try and build him up.
Yeah.
I know he's just come back from injury, but you don't want to rest him when he's only just started playing again. It's a different case there, I think. Whittaker, definitely come in on the wing, maybe give lower rest. Routledge, like, maybe a half, and then swap him with like Low or something. There's no one else, is there, really, to put on the wing now? Only Ayu or Low. Only because you don't want like Routledge to do.
Robert.
Yeah, he could do Roberts. Just don't want to like knock a Routledge out so he's not an option in the playoffs because he can't do 90 minutes, can he? So I was thinking maybe half, and then keep one of the others.
Routledge is your perfect player, like in the playoffs, to come on for the last 20 minutes in a big game.
Yeah,
so perfect.
Maybe like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that, and then sub him off. But again, yeah, back in the defence, I don't think it'd be too many changes. Maybe just on Bennett and Norton. Norton's probably going to play, I'd imagine, but you can swap with Roberts. Like, again, 1 game each or something. Or
yeah, just rotate it, keep them all fresh, but don't overdo it. And then,
Bennett, does he need to play either of them?
I wouldn't.
He's got the worst history of injuries probably this season. Just muscle stuff, isn't it?
He's such an experienced player that he can probably have like a 2-week gap and come into a big game.
Latibodia can come in for Geehy, and Capango and Latibodia can play or something. I think that would be fine. And then Bidwell and Manning could probably play one each as well because they've been rotating for a while. Anyway, don't think there's anything else there to cover, to be honest.
I'd like to see, really want to see the front 3 now because we haven't actually seen it once this season. I'd like to see Low, Cullen and Ayu together. Because I was so impressed.
Of the playoffs.
Yeah, I was so impressed with Cullen's movement against Reading in his start. I thought he was class. And then, obviously, he went off when Ayu came on, didn't he?
Yeah.
I just love to see Cullen making those runs in behind and Ayu finding him. I think that could be dangerous. So I think Cullen, definitely start Cullen in the 2 games for him to get match fitness.
Hopefully that's a weapon that we can use that they won't be expecting then.
Well, that was because I was talking to you, Lee, one night about it, but you could see, well, because obviously it wasn't on your last one, or about the post-match one, you could see as soon as I come on the pitch, the play quickened up, and we were a different animal then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We would just one touch, flick around the corner, like both them goals, just flicks around the corner, behind. I mean, that was like back to what we were like at the beginning of the season, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
That Megs was dirty. Yeah, that was dirty.
That's what you need. That's the difference with Ayu on the pitch, isn't it? A little bit of skill.
Yeah.
That's a good shout though. Like keeping things maybe a little bit quiet now for the 2 games. Like don't give anything away. Show them nothing.
maybe clean sheet is more valuable. Go in, don't concede a goal. But then we've done that a lot this season. I just think maybe can we just be like, right, show we can score goals? Maybe that's the approach to take. I don't know.
I think you just got to give these players that are going to probably play now, like obviously, like IU, like you said, he's picked up a nickel, so he's definitely probably not going to play a feature at all in the next game. Maybe he'll come on against Watford. But these players that are going into the team now, you just got to give them freedom to go and express themselves and show what they can do.
Yeah, like Dan does, and he definitely would
Let
benefit
him
from
go.
that.
Just let him go and play the football.
Play an attacking midfield role and show me why I need to put that into my system.
Yeah, he's got something to prove.
Yeah.
Been at the club for a while now, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's shown in glimpses what he can do, but he needs to be more consistent.
He scored more goals last year than he did this year. But I think we went through the other day, didn't we? Was it 3 last year?
Yeah, something like that. 3, I think.
Okay, so moving on then. Looking at the form, Derby are like joint bottom of the form table. They've lost their last 5. They've lost more than their last 5, I think. Oh no, it's 6 in the last 7 they've lost, but they have lost their last 5. The win was against Luton Town, so the losses come against Reading, Norwich, Blackburn, Preston. Birmingham is the painful one, I think, which was their last game.
Yeah.
That probably a win there. Like, I think it saved Birmingham, didn't it, to be fair?
I think Derby might stay up, but they're so lucky, I think. Because they've lost so many games, but everybody else keeps losing. Rotherham have lost all their games in hand.
Well, they're
basically.
definitely lucky because, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday had a points deduction at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, if that didn't happen, then they would be in the relegation zone.
Yeah, I think they'll stay up, but they'll be so lucky.
Huddersfield would still be in trouble if there was no deduction.
I hope though. I hope that we beat Derby and Sheffield Wednesday. I think I've got Luton. Then it goes to the last game, like literally winner survives and loser goes down.
Would you want to survive then? Derby, Rotherham or Sheffield? Or actually, Wickham are not gone yet. I would love if Wickham did mine. That would be
if Wickham, that'd be class. Yeah, well,
the
Wickham
greatest game ever in football.
You need the other 3 to lose all their games, and Wickham need to win them all.
But isn't it like, what's the goal swing?
Oh, I can't work out off the top of my head. You're asking a question there. It's over 10, I think.
I've been doing maths all day, but
it's over 10. It's like 12, 13, something like that.
18 goal swing, bloody hell. Akinfenwa hat-tricks all round.
13 goals. Never know.
Okay.
Never know.
Never mind, Wickham are gone. So Rotherham, Sheffield, Derby, who do you want to stay?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I know.
I think Rotherham is the
I quite like Rotherham because they're like the underdog. But then it would be great if Sheffield Wednesday survived after their 6-point deduction. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, it's another big club going down to League One as well, potentially.
Slippery slope this league.
Big club.
You know what I mean? Derby and Sheffield Wednesday's both big clubs, so.
Yeah,
well. I was looking at League One the other day. There are some massive clubs in there. Just Hull are coming back up, and Sunderland are there, and Portsmouth, and.
Oh, Sunderland have absolutely choked it. They can't buy a win. Them not absolute garbage. Like all the boys in work, all the boys in work giving a Bertie big bollocks. I'm like, Jesus, you are proper shit. You want to talk to me about the Swans? You are shit.
Well, yeah. So I mean, Frank Lampard was there, done well with Derby. He's gone downhill since. I guess that's not like better. I wonder if Rooney thinks about that. Lampard had this Derby team, took him to the playoffs, and now he's coming there as his first manager job. But ultimately, not the same circumstances because he didn't have him since day one. But I think he's clearly not doing as well, is he?
Haven't they been done with some sort of financial fair play thing?
They haven't had a deduction though.
No, but I mean, I don't think they were able to bring in players this season.
I think they had to move a couple of players on as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
I thought they did still make some signings, didn't they?
I'm not sure. Probably calling Kaz and Richards, didn't they?
Yeah, and
legend.
All right, but I'm not being funny. If you're going to sign Wayne Rooney in the Championship, you probably deserve to get sanctioned to some sort of financial fair play. That was dodgy anyway, wasn't it? Like the whole sponsor was playing all his wages, and
he
gave him the number 32 because of it, because it was 32 red.
Found a loophole in they thought they did in the financial fair play thing because they brought Rooney in, didn't they? But I think the rule is like wages don't count towards it if he's player manager, and that's why they brought him in as like a player coach, didn't they? Because he was playing for Derby for a bit.
Yeah.
Not sure if they got found out that way then.
Serves him right, I guess.
Maybe that's why he retired then and went straight into the coaching.
Yeah, well, serves him right. And if they go down, he's probably going to get sacked. So, do you reckon?
Well, you never know. You never say never. They might give him a year in the League One as well.
Well, when they started off quite decent after he came in, and then they've just lost it, like 5 losses on the row. They needed like a win from that.
Depends how much combo they have to pay him off.
Yeah. One win from that though, and they probably wouldn't be in the situation now.
Yeah,
they'd be on an awful run.
So,
Bringing it back to the Swans though, on the relegation front. I know I've seen some stuff in the press and that saying that should we be selecting a weaker side because it might be easier for them to win? Is it harsh on their relegation rivals? But it's just the way it is, isn't it?
Cooper did say he's going to respect the competition. So
yeah, I know.
It won't be a wholesale cup changes, I don't think.
Oh, you'll put a team out which you think will win the game, won't he? You know what I mean? That's number one. And then players will want to go out and win the game. They're not going to just go lie down, are they?
Well, think about it. All these players that we've mentioned have come in and started in the team all season. We haven't had a massive squad, have we? The only one really is Ollie Cooper if he came in, isn't it? But he's probably not going to start. So I don't think, when you look at the team, you probably would have seen them all starting. Yeah. It's just maybe not together, like Whittaker, Danda, and Cullen starting in the same team potentially is probably the first time other than a cup. But yeah, like the midfielders, there's not too much to change, like we said, and someone's going to start and probably just get subbed off earlier than what normally would happen. I'd imagine maybe he will use 5 subs just to rest them.
Yeah, I think not on us though, is it? I mean, they've had 44 games to themselves safe.
That's not a problem really.
You get fans as well, and they're like, oh, we haven't seen this player play, and then you haven't seen this player play, and now we're actually going to get a chance now against Derby and against maybe Watford. And then they go, oh, should we put a team out to win? So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because people are calling for Ollie Cooper to get into the team now and see what he can do again. And he's talking. Well, why are you playing him now? You know what I mean? When the game is not fair for Derby, but no. But you know what I mean? We got to give these players a chance, because our fans will be like, more about it. You know what I mean? So.
You think about your own club, and there's no pressure on us now to test players, isn't there?
But I actually think we're more dangerous now because there's players he's going to bring in that have got something to prove. With the pressures off us completely, I think if we'd lost to Reading and something was on this game, they'd probably have more chance of beating us because we'd probably be a wreck with the pressure.
Okay, so go put your money where your mouth is, and what's your prediction?
I think we're going to beat them comfortably. I do. I think the pressure's off us.
How comfortably is comfortably?
3-0.
Oh, that was a big score.
Oh, who's scoring?
Right. Here we go. Let me think about this. I'm trying to think who's going to play. Cullen.
Always put a centre half. Never know.
No, I'm keeping my Bennett goal for the playoff final, the winner, 1-0. Who did I say? Cullen. I'm going to go Cullen. I don't know. I'm trying to think who's going to play. Maybe Lowe off the bench. And... Or Danda. Go on, son. Get a goal this season.
Danda. You're right, Lee.
Go. Get a goal, lad.
Look, I want him to play well. This is why I criticise him. I want him to have a good game. So this is his chance now.
What are you saying?
He's got to play 90 minutes and he's going to score.
I'll say not as comfortable as Lee, but 2-0. Take 2-0.
Yeah.
I actually do I fancy Cullen to start and get a goal. I do fancy that actually. The lad's movement is great as well for such a young kid, isn't it? So I fancy as well. I'm gonna say
Whittaker.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go.
Boy takes a lot of shots, get a goal.
That's something we didn't think about as well against his old team as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go 3-2 Swans.
Oh, goal fest.
Jesus.
Because I think maybe they make some changes and then they'll just be like, I don't know, see what happens.
Chaos. It'll just be chaos.
We also haven't won a home game since I don't know, March or February or something stupid. Early March or February. Well, before Cardiff. Yeah, so I definitely think Cullen will score. I'm going to go Cullen times 2. And
nice.
Whittaker.
Yeah. Everybody's feeling it. Everybody's feeling the goal against his old club.
Well, I think he's due with goal, isn't he, to be honest.
Takes a lot of shots as well, so, you know.
And it's not like crap. A lot of them are on target when you look at
Exactly,
just skies it.
I'm excited, yeah. I'm excited for them to get a run in the team because, like, when Whittaker got a bit of game time, didn't he? Like against Cardiff and Bournemouth. I know we lost the 2 games, but he looked alright. We'll give him some
I'm
game time.
surprised he didn't get more time after that.
Yeah, he seemed to have fallen off, doesn't he? After the Cardiff game, he didn't
necessarily do anything wrong on the pitch. He just didn't get picked. I guess it's just he's young and he's just getting game time here or there. That's what happens, and you bring him in and out.
There's all the time though, didn't he, about Whittaker? Even in his interview on Sunday, Cooper now after the Reading game, he said every time he mentions Whittaker, it comes with he's one for the future. So literally in every conversation, when he says Whittaker, it's followed by and Morgan's one for the future. He's one for the future.
Well, and
no matter what he's talking about.
Cullen's the same bracket of age, isn't he? Like,
but maybe thinks Cullen is ready. He seemed ready on Sunday to me.
He's worked with him for an extra year, I guess.
But the thing is, as well, I suppose, is like, like you said, he's worked with him for an extra year and things like that. But also, he worked with Whittaker, didn't he, when he was in the England setup?
It's different though at that club level, isn't it? And I guess when you're in that setup, everyone's that age, so you've got to pick them anyway.
Yeah. He does show some good signs to fair boy. He's a tryer and he's got a bit of quality, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely.
Just on that quickly, I think like everyone sort of says like, we could be in trouble if we don't go up, and obviously we lose IU and we lose the loan signings. But you look at like Whittaker and Cullen, 2 youngsters, and then you got like Cabango and maybe Latibodiere at the back, with Bennett with them as well.
It's not the end of the world at all. Plus, we've been linked with that guy from Luton. Who they got on loan? That guy's class from Luton.
I don't know.
He's got a double-barreled name. Can't remember his name.
Is it Drewsbury Hall?
Yeah, we've been linked with him, and he on loan for next season. I think.
There you go.
I mean, quite well against us, didn't he?
It's early days for rumours on transfers, and that can all change depending on what league you're in. It also came out today saying that Woodman as well. They're looking at if we go up, they want to sign him. If they don't go up, they want another loan. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, Kyle Norton as well. News on Kyle Norton. He also signed a new contract, 1 year extension, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, he's at that age now where he'll just chip the years off like Routledge, and when it's enough, and he'll just be like, nah, mate, you're done.
Yeah. I think it's a good bit of business. Like Norton and Routledge just getting this year, because they managed to get him to sign a 1 year extension last year, didn't they, for the season, and they've been. Look how valuable they've been this season. I don't know if Routledge will actually get one this year though.
I think though Routledge has been told when it stops he's going to go coaching team. Yeah. You mentioned that like either last summer or the summer before, so I think he knows. Like he'll just play when he wants. He'll be like, if you want to keep playing, we'll give you something. If you want to go coach, you go coach.
We'll get promoted to the Prem, right? And he'll be a coach, and then we'll have 3 games at the end of the season to stay up, and they'll bring him back in, and he'll just perform again.
He'll perform again.
He's been a great servant for the club, isn't he? He's been a great servant for the club. We've got to give him that.
I know, and he's reaching 10 years, isn't he? Is he going to get a testimonial?
Yes. I should think so, shouldn't
you? It probably is 10 years, isn't it? Didn't we sign him when we got promoted? First year we went up.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
What was that, 11? Yes, it was 10
years. Was it not Brendan Rodgers' first signing? We know it.
No, because he.
I mean, like in the Premier League. I mean.
Oh, it might have been, yeah. Or Danny Graham, I think.
I think it was Danny Graham. I thought it was Routledge.
I don't know. I can't remember. I thought that we signed Danny Graham, and literally is because I think we won the playoff final, and then I think a couple of days later we signed Danny Graham. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're wrong, actually. I thought. I'm big Leroy Lita and Wayne Routledge. Good bit of business that.
Well, we started Luke.
Oh, Leroy, legend.
Luke Moore. Who else?
Awesome boy.
Anyway. Lita, Routledge.
He re-signed Bessoni as well, didn't he?
Did we have Bessoni in the Prem?
I'm sure we had him in the Prem, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
For like a year.
Came back,
we were desperate we didn't have any other left back other than Neil Taylor. It was before Ben Davies, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, Neil Taylor started, didn't he, in the first year we went up? He was the left back.
So when did he get injured? He was around.
Good though.
He got injured? Is it
Neil Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, he had a bad injury, Neil Taylor. Yeah, in the second season under Laudrup, he had a bad injury, and then Ben Davies came in then.
That's what done him. All right, okay.
Ben
Anyway,
Davies was class.
Let's end it there. So good video, lads. Cheers for coming again. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We will be doing some sort of playoff special, and obviously going into the summer, we'll see what's on the horizon with some podcasts. Maybe touch on the Euros. Got some Lions stuff we might want to touch on if you're into rugby. Otherwise, leave a like on this video. Don't forget to comment, leave us some feedback, get engaged with what we've said, and let us know what you think. And we should see you in the next video. So have a good one.
See you soon.
See you later, guys.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, to click the like button to help us grow. To keep up to date with all of our new uploads, hit the subscribe button and push the bell to ensure you are notified of all of our new videos. As always, engage in the comments and let us know your opinions on what we discussed today. And if you want to support us directly, check out our new merch where you can find some awesome Swansea related t-shirts.